Welcome back to BaldHeaded Metal, guys. My name is Joseph. Today we're doing another Insomnium reaction, and this time it's going to be Drawn to Black, one of the more highly requested songs on this channel from the various Insomnium catalog that you guys have recommended to me. Eventually, like I've mentioned before to those that have followed my videos, is that I will do a full album review. Today I'm just going to do another song from Insomnium. I want to give a couple more tracks just a listen before I dive deep into a full album. And let's just see what we got here. So far, I liked every song that I've heard. I know that I've requested some faster songs from them, and you guys kind of let me know that they don't really do really fast songs. They tend to be more mellow melodic death metal style, and it's something to kind of take into account. But from what I understand, this is one of the heavier songs. So let's get into it right away and see what we got here. If you're new to this channel, just be prepared. I might like it, might dislike it. That is all. Raw reactions, honest reactions, but I'll always try to accommodate or bring forth my own thinking why I felt a particular way. All right, let's get into it. This is right away from the beginning. This is right up my alley. Where it maintains this kind of heaviness to the music and this kind of rawness to the music while still being very melodic and beautiful. It's just like the perfect mixture of the two, the blending of the two, of the heaviness and the more melodic sounds. Because from the other two songs that I've heard, While We Sleep and Heart Like a Grave, they literally would go into these very kind of atmospheric melodic sections, which I do enjoy. I'm not gonna say I don't like them. I do enjoy them. But if you ask me what I prefer something like this. I've always been like me and my brother, the two opposites. He's always liked the more melodic, more kind of soothing side of heavy metal. I've always liked the more aggressive, fast, and just right in your face kind of hits. So you know I'm gonna be right drawn to this from the beginning. So let's continue. Let's get on with it. That's a nice transition. What I liked up, I want to rewind this because this part particularly is very interesting, is that I like from the beginning of the song up until this point, it's just been building up and going faster, and I have a moment it will go even faster, more intense, and kept building, building until it hit boom, this kind of part where it just calms. I really like those kind of transitions to let you like gasp for breath and catch your breath a little bit. I've always enjoyed that. I think Insomnium, and please understand when I say this, that's at least my personal opinion. When I first heard a couple of their songs, I don't particularly think they've revolutionized the genre, let's put it that way, right? And that they've somehow with their formula changed everything we know about melodic death metal. But they are the perfect example of a place where you do not need to innovate a genre. You do not need to change up the whole formula. You don't need to turn everything on its head to be a true legend and a true musician and show what you're all about and have worthwhile music. I believe AC/DC was like that. AC/DC did not do anything new at its time. It just did it better than most, if not better than everybody. Just because they were able to make everything just so addictive and so perfect with their music. And I think that's kind of the same with Insomnium, where they're doing what you've heard before, but done better than others. And that's a true kind of example of you do not need to do that. For example, I feel the same way. For example, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Logan with a Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. Didn't exactly turn the whole genre on its head, but it did it better than anybody else. Now, I'm a gamer. This happens with games a lot as well. So I think this is a perfect example. And I think, in my opinion, this is probably some of the highest praise I can give. It's like, hey, we're in a genre that everybody else is in, but we're doing it better than others. Where some bands might step out of that genre and go somewhere else and do something completely different, and have their own kind of vibe to it. You know what I really like that they do? This reminds me actually of Slayer. A weird example, because I think Slayer did it as like one of the best ones when what they would do is two harmony. I don't know how to explain in musical terms specifically. I just know it's happening. They will play, it sounds like the same harmony on different scales. So one sounds higher and one sounds lower, and they would play it at the same time to create these very interesting harmonies. And it looks like Insomnium does this, especially in this song. I haven't heard it in the other two songs that they did this. And they've created this really interesting harmony with both guitars having very interesting melodies they're playing at the same time, creating a beautiful sound with the heavy bass kind of kicking in the front. And again, with how they're picking and dropping the pace of the song up and down. I think it's just, this is probably my favorite song that I've heard so far from Insomnium. Yeah, without a doubt, this is my favorite song so far. Oh, this is nice. This is literally when I'm searching for in right before I made my YouTube channel for music, and I would every couple of months sit down to search for new bands or new music to listen to. And then whenever I would type in melodic death metal, this is the sound I'll be always going for and trying to find. Either that or death, you know, some one of those kind of sounds to the music where it just sounds really melodic and really beautiful, but maintains the harshness. And this particular melody right to the end and then near the end of the song is probably the most beautiful one. I'll rewind it a little bit more. I know it's gonna pick up right now, guys. It's gonna slowly just keep picking up. Yeah, this was beautiful. This was a beautiful song. I think I'm going to review this album first, because if this is the style of the album, I think I'm going to like this a lot. Yeah, the other songs seemed different, in a different style. I'm gonna assume that this is probably some of the earlier albums in comparison to what I've heard before. I tend to like, from most bands, their earlier albums more, when they're hungry, when they are the most creative. I would say most bands are probably the most creative in their early albums. On occasion, I think there's bands that actually got better with age. My opinion, for example, Sodom and Creator got better with age. I think of who else. Iron Maiden kind of kept throughout. Judas Priest has always been really creative. Death, I absolutely believe Death in their later part of the career before Chuck Schuldiner passed away, they were at their peak with Symbolic, Individual Thought Pattern, and Sound of Perseverance. Those three albums are, to me, will never be topped in the melodic death metal genre, because they're just perfect. But I thought this song was absolutely wonderful. I would want to hear more songs from this particular album. As a matter of fact, like I said, I think I'm going to review this. But hopefully, guys, you enjoyed the reaction. I give you all this warning about that I might not like it, but really, I liked every single element of the song. Drums, bass, vocals, guitars, the beautiful melody, the song structure. I literally have, the only complaint I have is that it's 420, 480p, and the image is blurry. That's about it. I have no other complaints. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, make sure to subscribe down below for more, and keep it metal, guys. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves.